So our topic is all about energy resources, and today is we're going to discuss on different sources of energy. So the goals are to explain what energy sources are, to discuss the pros and cons of renewable and non-renewable energy, to identify different energy resources, and to explore ways to transition to sustainable energy future. So energy from the sun hits different parts of the earth. This creates temperature differences which lead to wind. So wind is a form of solar energy, wind energy. We can use wind turbines in groups called wind farms to convert wind into electricity. These farms can be on land or at sea. So example, a photo of wind farm in Ilocos Norte, Philippines, showing how wind energy is harnessed locally. So energy resources are material used to produce electricity and power. These are two types, renewable like wind and solar, non-renewable like oil and gas.
So what is net energy and why is it important? Net energy is the only energy that really counts. It takes energy to produce energy. For example, before oil becomes useful to us, it must be found, popped up from beneath the ground or ocean floor, transferred to a refinery, converted to a gasoline and other fuels and chemicals, and delivered to consumers. Each of these steps uses high quality energy obtained mostly by burning fossil fuels, especially gasoline and diesel fuels. The usable amount of high quality energy available from energy resources is its net energy yield. It is the total amount of high quality energy available from a given quality of an energy resources minus the high quality energy needed to make the energy available.
My name is Shane Delgado, and at this point, we're going to discuss about natural gas. Natural gas is a versatile and widely used as fuel. When we talk about versatile, so basically, it has many functions after being processed. It is a fossil energy source that formed deep beneath the Earth's surface. The largest component of gas is methane, and compound with one carbon atom and four hydrogen atom, or so what we call the CH4. That's the formula for the methane. These versatile fuels has a medium and net energy yield, and it is widely used as for cooking, heating, and industrial purposes. It can be used as fuel for car or trucks, or it's either a crude or an oil. It can be used as to produce electricity in power plants. So, meaning it can be used as in the power plant, not just for in our house when we're cooking, and for gas for the vehicle. Natural gas is also the source or the one that helps in producing an electricity in the power plants. For now, talking about natural gas, uh, it has many advantages and disadvantages. First, we're going to talk about the advantages of using the natural gas. Natural gas is abundant, so that's the number one advantage of the natural gas. It is abundant, meaning it is unlimited. It is not measurable. Next is low carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas emissions. The third is rapid effect in transportations. And then next is versatile energy source, less expensive than other fossil fuels. So it is less expensive because it is abundant. And we're going to move about the disadvantages. First is toxic in nature. Why it is toxic in nature? Because after we use natural gas, for example, in the factories or the trucks or vehicles that we use, it releases a smoke or a large smoke from the factories that can destroy the air, or it can lead to air pollution, and it can also destroy the ozone layer. Next is, it is non-renewable. It is non-renewable because it is natural occurring. We cannot recycle it, and we cannot reuse it after using. So that we call it is non-renewable. Next is polluting air and water on Earth, and greenhouse gas emission. Next is leakage. So when we were getting a gas in the ocean, under the ocean, of course there's a certain situation happens when we're getting that, and that can destroy the natural habitats or in the ocean, and that can also kill the fish living in that certain area. And for now, we're going to discuss about coal. Coal is another type of fossil fuel, and it is a solid fossil fuel formed from remains of land plants were buried and exposed to intense heat and pressure for 300 to 400 million years. It is a combustible black dark brown rock consisting of mainly carbonized plant matter, found mainly underground deposits and widely used as fuel. So the coal can be found in the cave or underground. So basically, it can be found after mining. And then, when we talk about coal, there's also advantages and disadvantages when using this. First, we're going to discuss also the advantage of coal. First is, it has a huge global reserve and not an intermittent energy source. And it is inexpensive energy source, independent from the weather, and plenty of applications. And then, let us now proceed to these advantages. Disadvantages, it is also non-renewable source of energy. It cannot be used after being used. It cannot be recycled, or it cannot be it is irreplaceable, I mean. And it destroys natural habitat. And there's also an impact of miners' health. So when you are a miner, there's a chance that you can be you will be having a black lung disease, meaning when you inhale the dust after mining, that can destroy your lungs. Next is the potentially radioactive and displacement of human settlements. And that would be all, and the next reporter will be discussed. Thank you so much for listening.
Conventional nuclear fuel cycle. So it is a process of generating energy using nuclear fuel like uranium in power plants. It has both benefit and risk. So on positive side, nuclear power has a low environment impact during normal operation because it emits minimal pollutants, making it cleaner than fossil fuel. It also produces only a fraction of the carbon dioxide that coal does, helping to combat climate change. Modern plants are designed with advanced safety features, reducing the risk of major incident. However, there are significant drawbacks. The net energy produced is relatively low because a low energy is spent on mining, refining, and waste management. The overall cost is also very high due to the expenses of building, maintaining, and safety decommissioning nuclear plants. Additionally, nuclear reactors produce radioactive waste that remains dangerous for thousands of years, requiring careful handling. Lastly, nuclear technology and material can be misused to create weapons, raising global security concerns. So disadvantage of nuclear power. So nuclear power has significant downside, including high cost that depends heavily on government and taxpayer support to ensure safety and make up for its low energy efficiency. Another major concern is the risk of nuclear technology being used to create weapons as material and knowledge from power plants can be repurposed for making weapon-grade uranium or plutonium. This risk is heightened by the global trade of nuclear technology and equipment which can spread these capabilities. Solution: to address the challenge of nuclear power, reactors needs to be designed to prevent dangerous chain reaction and fuel process must be secured to avoid misuse for weapon. Radioactive waste and old reactor parts must be safely managed to protect future generation. Nuclear power should also aim for higher energy efficiency to reduce resilience on subsidies and must maximize or sh- should should be minimize greenhouse gas emission compared to other energy resources. So energy efficiency means using less energy to do the same amount of work, making it crucial resource for reducing waste and saving costs. Improvement in energy efficiency could save at least one-third of the world's energy, up to 43% in the US, helping to conserve resources and reduce emissions. So another reason of our inefficiency is the use of energy is that many people live and work in poor, isolated, badly designed building that requires excessive heating during cold and excessive cooling during hot weather. So one way to improve energy efficiency in industry is through cogeneration or CHP, which uses the same energy resource to produce electricity and heat. For example, steam from power generation is captured and reused to heat nearby facility instead of being wasted. This reduces energy loss and maximizes energy resources.
So now let's proceed to energy efficient electrical grid. This highlight the importance of improving electricity transmission efficiency. Discuss how high voltage transmission lines connect power plants, wind farms, and other producers to users. Next is energy efficient vehicles. Compares convention hybrid that plug-in hybrid vehicles. Mention that potential of hydrogen fuel cell vehicles which are efficient, no moving parts and require minimal maintenance. So renewable energy. So defines renewable energy as source that replenish faster than they are consumed. List examples like solar, wind, geothermal, hydro biomass, and tidal energy. So advantages of using renewable energy. So emphasize sustainability by relying on natural energy sources. Second, heating with solar energy. Passive solar heating. Utilize sunlight through south-facing windows, storing heat and materials known as thermal mass. Active solar heating uses solar energy to heat fuel, which transfer heat to interior spaces or storage system. Next is natural cooling. Direct solar energy aids in cooling buildings. Indirect methods like wind can be used, and high efficiency windows help maintain indoor temperature. The last is Electricity from solar cells. So, photovoltaic or PV cells convert sunlight into electricity. Solar cells are efficient, have no moving parts, and produce electricity without emission.
So let's proceed to the disadvantage of using renewable energy. Renewable energy is not available round the clock. It's because renewable energy sources are natural forces that are strongly dependent on the weather condition. Renewable energy sites require a lot of space. In comparison with traditional power stations, we have to use more land for establishing renewable energy. Renewable energy devices need recycling. Generating electricity from renewable energy sources produces way lower levels of pollution. The initial cost of renewable energy is high, considering the amount of energy we get from renewable technologies. The initial cost is high and sometimes unaffordable. How can we make the transition to a more sustainable energy future? First, during the century, there will likely be a gradual shift from dependence on non-renewable fossil fuels to a mix of renewable energy from the sun, wind, flowing water, and the Earth's interior. The second general conclusion of experts about the future of energy use is that a combination of improved energy efficiency and carefully regulated use of natural gas will be the best way to make the transition to using mostly renewable energy resources during the century. The third general conclusion is that because fossil fuels are still abundant and artificially cheap, we will continue to use them in large quantities.